This video is going to introduce you to the rook. I'm going to show you the basic rules of how to move the rook, as well as a few examples of some questions you may be asked. So this is the rook here. It's the piece you start with 2 of in either corner in the beginning of the game. This rook is one of the so-called long-range pieces because it can move as far as it wants. The rook moves in straight lines only, so up and down, left and right only. It can move to any one of these highlighted squares, so it can go as far as it wants or as close as it wants. However, it cannot jump over pieces, so the rook cannot go to this square here because it's blocked by its own piece. And it cannot go to any of these other squares because, again, it must be in straight lines, so only one of the highlighted squares here. In order to take a piece, the rook takes pieces in the same way that it moves. So in order to win the opponent, which is black here, in order to win black pieces, you move in the same way that it moves regularly, which is in the straight lines I just mentioned. So for example, in this position, to win this pawn here, the rook must move twice because there's no straight line immediately to the pawn. So you must first move to here, as it's one of the squares you can move to. And then on the second move, then you move to. In this example, again, to win this pawn, you need 2 moves because the rook cannot get to this pawn in one straight line immediately. So in this position, this rook can move to any one of these highlighted squares, up and down, left and right, but it cannot jump over pieces, so it cannot reach any of these squares on its move. To get this pawn, you must find the square that's in a straight line from this pawn. So we can see that the rook should first move here from this original square, and then on the second move, it can move in another straight line to take the white pawn.